Hi, Sparrows Point families and students. This is Mrs. Ganaris here, your principal, and I am excited to welcome you back to the 2020-2021 school year. Now, no one could ever imagine that we would be opening up a school year in a virtual setting. And I know that many of our parents and our students are feeling anxious about what this is going to look like. And here's what I can tell you. You all are in very good hands. Our phenomenal teachers here at Sparrows Point Middle School worked tirelessly this spring to ensure your students had continued instruction and social emotional support. They worked tirelessly this summer to ensure that we built a schedule that was supportive of our learners, our middle school learners, who we all know have a hard time sitting still, have a hard time organizing. We know it's hard, and we built a schedule to help support that with them in mind at the heart of our plans. And so this evening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a PowerPoint so that we can explain to you what that schedule looks like, how you take what you see in Schoology and plug it into the Sparrows Point schedule, and also those components of our schedule that include advisory that will be geared toward helping your child navigate how they become effective virtual learners who advocate for themselves and are able to organize their assignments and turning in those assignments. So here's what I need to tell you. We got your back. I am your wing woman. You can reach out anytime. I'm in this with you. I have two little boys of my own that are going into 2nd and 3rd grade, and this is not easy, parents. But what I know about the Sparrows Point community is that when things get tough, we have each other's back and we stick together and we get it done. And so let's get started. This evening, we're going to cover 4 main topics: scheduling, advisory, attendance, and virtual expectations. In the next slide, you'll hear Ms. Gordon, one of our school counselors, explain to you how to use the schedule you find in your child's Schoology page and apply that to our Sparrows Point Middle School schedule.
Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Gordon, and my hope with this video is to help you better understand your virtual schedule at Sparrows Point Middle School. This first screen is an example of a daily student schedule, and if you note, every day of the week that we have classes, which would be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, they are broken down into a 4-period block, with the exception of Tuesdays and Fridays, as the last period of the day will be advisory. And this sample schedule, this is a 6th grader sample schedule. It's important to note that for 6th grade, their specials are periods 2 and 3, and those are the only periods that will reflect an A or B day schedule. The rest of their periods will always stay the same. So 2 and 3 are the only ones that will change from A or B day. So on Mondays, an example, period 1, the student would have world history with Miss Knight, followed by the movement or snack break. Next period would be 2, and since it's an A day, the student has PE. Movement or snack break, followed by period 3. On A days, the student would have math assistance, followed by lunch, and then the last period of the day, period 4, would be reading. If you note in the sample schedule, Tuesday will still be an A day. So the student will then have period 5 in the morning, followed by period 6, followed by period 7, and the last period of the day will be advisory. And on our first day of school, students will receive more information about their advisory group and which teacher or adult they'll be working with. In the purple here on Wednesdays, these are great tips for students to take advantage of. The first one being ensure that all of their A-day assignments from Monday and Tuesday are completed and turned in. They can message their teachers or counselor for support. They can complete homework for the next days for their B days for Thursday and Friday. attend any individual small group sessions, and also get to take a little break from screen time. We know this can be a lot. So if we look here in the green, Thursdays will be a B day. So it'll be the same like Monday, except for 6th grade, their specials will change for periods 2 and 3. So if we note here, period 2, this person now has tech ed, and period 3, they would now have band. But everything else looks the same. Advisory will be a little different on Fridays. On Fridays, they will be social emotional learning based, and on Tuesdays, they will be AVID based. And again, your student will get more information about this on their first day on September 8th. This is a screenshot of what most of you received in the mail, and we understand that your schedule looks as if it has 8 periods a day. So the first thing I suggest is when you get that schedule is to, on a separate piece of paper, any paper you can grab in the house, have your student or your child make 2 columns. And this is going to help change that 8-period looking schedule to read a 7-period scheduled day. So if you note here, I have 2 columns, A and column B, and I have 7 periods listed because I don't need to have my homeroom and we don't count lunch as a period. So in this sample schedule, period 1 is world history. And as you note here, I put it in both columns because I always have a period 1 regardless if it's A or B day. Okay. For 6th grade, periods 2 and 3 are our only periods that change with A or B day. In this sample schedule, period 2 A day, this student has PE. Period 2 B day, this student has tech ed. This stands here as 1 for semester 1. For semester 2, this student will have health. Period 3 A day, the student has math assistance. Period 3 on B days, the student will have band. Period 4 reading, again that will stay the same. Period 5 math stays the same. Period 6 science. Period 7 is language arts. So just a quick refresher, the next page here is that same one I showed you, that student daily example. It would be great to, on another piece of paper, make a 6-column chart just like shown here so the student can show the time they're in each schedule, and then they know the classes they have for each day. So they would just throw them in, just remembering that Mondays and Tuesdays are always going to be A days, and Thursdays and Fridays are always going to be B days. Okay, lastly, our first week schedule is the only time our schedule is going to look different for this whole first week, because due to Labor Day, schools will be closed on Monday. So what we would have had in place here, we're now just going to push to Wednesday. So on Tuesday, September 8th, your student will be starting their first class with period 5. So they're going to look at their sample schedule. In this case, if the student has math with Mr. Brophy, okay, followed by period 6, period 7, and advisory. Now Wednesday will become what Monday would usually look like. In this case, it'll be period 1 with world history, followed by a snack, followed by period 2, where the student has an A day. It's PE A day with Mr. Subject, period 3, A day math assistance, and period 4 reading. Thursday and Friday would still look the same. So I just want to note that the first week, September 8th through the 11th, will look like this. The following week, it will go back to the original daily schedule. And lastly, I just want to put this up. Again, my name's Alicia Gordon. I'm one of the counselors, and Miss Chadwick is our other counselor and our department chair. She and I will be available. These are our emails. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. You can shoot us an email and we'll get back to you. We can't wait to meet you.
Students at Sparrows Point Middle School have typically had a 7-period day. What we have done for virtual learning is we have extended those periods over 2 days and made the learning blocks longer to allow for deep instruction and time for students to practice their learning. You will hear 2 terms used, asynchronous and synchronous. Simply put, synchronous learning is live instruction. Asynchronous learning is independent learning at a self-paced rate. What you see here in blue is where our live instruction is. That's the first segment of the learning block. The teachers will unpack the learning objective, provide teaching and modeling that is live in real time with students. Then they will break for guided practice and small group. I like to call this semi-independent because while students will be working independently, they will keep their Google Meet logged on and they will complete assignments that as the teacher directs in Schoology, all the while having access to the teacher if they need extra support. Also during this time, in segment 2, students may be pulled for small group instruction. Teachers will then pull students back in segment 3 and they'll check for understanding. They will see, did the students get it? Did they not get it? If they didn't get it, how can I reteach it? If they did, how can I extend it? And then in segment 4, students will complete their independent learning and assessment. Again, I call this semi-independent because they will remain logged on to Google Meet as they get started. They will be able to work independently at a self-paced rate, yet still have access to the teacher should they need support until the end of the class. On Tuesday, the first day of school, there will be mobile meal distribution in front of Sparrows Point Middle School from 11 to 1 o'clock. This will only occur on a Tuesday during the first week of school. The normal meal distribution days will be on Mondays and Wednesdays, and on these days, families will get meals for multiple days. Meals are free to any child from ages 2 through 18. Within our schedule, the best time for our students to pick up lunch is during the movement break from 11:20 to 11:50. One of our favorite things about our new schedule is having a dedicated time for advisory sessions with students. Every single staff member at Sparrows Point Middle School will have an advisory group, including myself, and I am very excited for this. During this time, we will be focusing on students' social emotional learning, as well as teaching them organizational skills and how to be responsible virtual learners. This will help them not only in a virtual setting, but when we return to the school building. Advisory focuses on academic support, career goals, social emotional development, AVID, and PBIS. Our goal is to help students achieve success in school and ultimately lead fulfilling lives as responsible members of society. But most importantly, this is the time that we dedicate toward building relationships with our students and a sense of connectedness to the staff members in our building. Many schools around the county have an AVID program. At Sparrows Point Middle School, we are very proud to have started our first AVID program last school year. That being said, we take a school-wide approach to AVID strategies, thereby benefiting all students to have the opportunity to use AVID strategies. During our advisory sessions, we'll be helping students with skills that support learning, such as organization and note-taking, weekly reflections to monitor growth. We are going to celebrate their successes and ultimately help them improve their grades. They will be using SMART goals to improve chances of achieving academic success, and they will have an advisor cheering them on along the way. This school year, the learning model for virtual learning is enhanced in that it includes attendance, grading, and virtual classroom expectations, very similar to how we functioned when we were in the schoolhouse. It is very important that students attend class each day, every class, for the duration of the class period. The teacher of the first period class will take the attendance for the day, and each period teacher will also be taking attendance for their classes. There will be attendance calls made daily after 3 o'clock. It is important to note that Wednesday is an instructional day for students. They are expected to log into Schoology to complete independent assignments. At 1 o'clock on Wednesdays, all first period teachers will use Schoology Analytics to mark students present. Students who have not logged in on Wednesdays by 1 o'clock will be marked absent. The Baltimore County grading policy is in effect for this school year. Teachers will be explaining to students and parents how they go about collecting a body of evidence. This is included in 2 categories: minor, which are teacher-assigned minor assignments, quizzes, discussions, and show what you knows, and major, which are system unit assessments and summative tasks. The Baltimore County Student Handbook has been revised to reflect the virtual learning environment. I have uploaded this student handbook on our school website under Virtual Learning 2020-2021. Please review this document with your student thoroughly. School administrators will be presenting this information to students. Each teacher will be sharing their virtual expectations with each of their classes. This includes background scenery, audio, video camera, chat box, hand raising, and student-to-student interaction. We thank all of those families who came up to the school to do a device update. The good news is that update has been put on hold until those glitches can be worked out. We did receive devices for students who are new enrollments to Sparrows Point Middle School, and we are able to give those new enrollments devices during this first distribution. If your device is broken, please ensure that you've put a ticket into the help desk. If your device is missing, please report that to Ms. Owens. We are keeping track of all of the device issues so that we can get those corrected as soon as possible. Parents and students, I cannot say it enough. We are here to support you to ensure your virtual learning experience is a success. If at any time you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of our staff members at Sparrows Point Middle School. We will hold a back-to-school night at a later date in which each content team will have an opportunity to share with parents and students more specific information related to their subject. In the meantime, we're looking forward to seeing you all on Tuesday.